Whoa, man, is this thing like recording? Hey, 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 what's going on? It's the Zonk Man here. Hopefully you can hear me. Hopefully the sound's good. I don't know how loud the background sound is. Hopefully it's not too much to interrupt. Here I am back at ya. Another video. This is a video about, man, we're going way back. I should have made this video probably a month or so better ago. Anyway, I think we're looking at September 20th. That is the Gastonia record show. So way back there, September, the Zonk Man went down to Gastonia to meet up with Dave, the Localbandography. I don't know what that symbol is there. dgjtrio, I think that's right, on Instagram, which is Justin. He brought a buddy, and I cannot remember. That's the type of details you forget. I forgot his buddy's name. Sorry about that. And Eric Weinbender, who was doing actually had one of the booths for Pharmacy Records that was out of Greenville, South Carolina. So yeah, we're meeting up. Cool shindig, man. You know what made it stand out from other record shows? You know, there was a fee where there's not an entry fee in the one here in Clemens. So there was a fee, so I was kind of about that. But we were doing a meetup, so just go ahead and pay its worth for that. But there was a food truck. There was stuff other than just, records and music. They had some musical instruments, which I never did see. And then there was something else. But then there was also booths, to kind of complement the food truck that were just like drinks and snacks. So if you just want a drink or snack or something like that, you could get that. That was in there, Not to mention the facility that was using had a parking garage that was free parking, so that was good. So there was plenty of parking for free. Pretty good setup as far as the floor. It was cool, and it had some added stuff that not every record show has. So that was definitely something cool. Definitely something you got to think about if you're just wanting to start doing a record show somewhere. You can't just do the old stuff, and expect people to come out. So this guy definitely added other features that maybe he wish would be at record shows that he went to. But anyway, yeah, see, I don't know. The mic's picking that up pretty good. I don't know if that's too loud, but anyway. Hemet. We got some Hemet in the background. Oh my God. Yeah, hopefully that's not overbearing that first part of the video. Anyway, so I'm here to talk to you about that. Been a little bit of a hiatus. I guess I'll talk about it. It's not really that big a deal. Zonkman had some routine hernia surgery. So, I didn't really deem it as that big a deal. That's why I wasn't shooting a bunch of stuff out there. But if anybody wants to holler, there's a whole lot more people out there going through tougher stuff than that. So that's why I didn't really mention it. But that's why I'm going to be staying out of work for a little while. So hopefully this will give me more reason to play records, more reason to make some more videos, which I haven't done. Like I said, I was going to, but who knows? Maybe I'll make some here a few days in a row. And then you'll go from the Zonkman's hadn't made a video in a month and a half to being burnt out on the Zonkman videos. So I do want to talk about what I got at that. So with that aside, hope everybody else out there is doing good. Let's talk about what I got at the record show. First, I was really downplaying it, not trying to go crazy. Maybe just look, just kind of peruse and see kind of what happens type of deal. So, I'm sifting through, and I'll just go through some CDs. So I found a couple CDs, Stevie Ray Vaughan Comp. This is which one? The Real Deal Greatest Hits Volume 2, which I didn't have. I still need Volume 1. And this is like a 2000 comp that they like reissued with this funny little case in maybe 2006. It was 6 or 7. So yeah, it's real weird. You just kind of pull the CD out. But anyway, that was good. Something I needed. Some good tracks on there. Stevie Ray Vaughan. And then another, same vendor, and I think they were like $4. Stevie Ray Vaughan and Friends. So yeah, this was a Solo Sessions and Encores. A comp from 07 of his stuff out there. So, yeah. Cool to get stuff I didn't have. I was familiar with the other comp. I was not familiar with this because it's Stevie Ray Vaughan and Friends. I was probably looking for stuff that says Stevie Ray Vaughan and Double Trouble. So I found a couple CDs. And I was like, that's cool. Everybody was like, hey, what did you find? I found a couple CDs. Ain't nothing crazy. And then finally I went to one vendor, and it did seem the whole show seemed kind of heavy. There was a mixture of all genres of music. Jazz, soul, R&B, everything. But it seemed heavy on heavy metal. There was a lot of vendors that were kind of strong on the metal side or whatever, or hard rock. Maybe some, the classic rock, the normal stuff. But even kind of more so on like the heavy metal stuff. So, that don't bother me any. I'm all in on that. So I found this record. Not really familiar with. This is a live EP, Bang Tango live injection from 88, I believe it was. 88 or 89? It's 88 or 89. Has an old school record exchange sticker on it from April 25th, 1990. That was kind of cool. And it is a cutout. It's from the cutout bins originally. This is 89. So there's only like 6 songs. So this was like an EP. Bang Tango. If you're not familiar with Bang Tango, I lump them in with the like the sleaze metal, the sleaze rock from that late 80s, early 90s. That was still going on after the glam or whatever was kind of fizzling out. And definitely, some of these bands even did stuff into the grunge era, into the early 90s. As grunge took over everything. So that was real cool. Now I am still looking I have Bang Tango Psycho Cafe. They have another record that could be promo only in the US, and it was Dancing on Coals from 91. That is something I'm definitely looking out for. So kind of in the same vein of that, we'll call it the sleaze metal or whatever, even though this might technically be it. I came across this record, Disneyland After Dark. Now this is, I always forget, Sweden, Norway. This says Copenhagen, Denmark. So these presses are, they're not US. None of these next presses are going to be US presses. So Disneyland After Dark. Of course, they got sued or whatever about their name. You can't have Disney. So then they went to DAD. I'm very familiar. I'm not as familiar with this album because it's the first one from '86. But this is killer stuff. And they get, as far as like the music, it is almost like country rock. They even throw in like a cowpunk reference, which I wouldn't say like the whole thing. I mean, this is just like a hard rock record, and they have some tinges. Of course, they always got the cow, the bull skull of the steer. on there. So this is Call of the Wild. This was their first record. Killers. When I found this, I was like, oh my. And this is a different vendor from Bang Tango, but these are all the same vendor. DAD Draws a Circle. This is the second album from '87. Same thing. They do a cover of A Horse with No Name on here. So, I Won't Cut My Hair. That's the song I like. And I was not as familiar with this. This is probably a UK press or something. I'm not 100% on these, but they're all foreign presses. They got kind of the I say UK because it's got the flimsy cover. So DAD Draws a Circle. That's kind of wild on the back. They had original inners and stuff on there too. So yeah, there's original inners. The lyrics on that side. Well, I guess I could have shown that more up. But anyway, dude, I mean, I lost my freaking mind. And then this is the record that I was familiar with. I had this on CD, Risking It All from 1991. This thing I know inside and out. And then I was like, hey, what happened? I Won't Cut My Hair's not on here. So I didn't know that that track was on an earlier album, and they basically re-recorded it for this on CD. But that track was not on the record. But dude, I love the lyrics that these guys are, the songs. Bad Craziness, Disneyland Law, Day of Wrong Moves, Down That Dusty Third World Road, Laugh and a Half, Making Fun of Money, Grow or Pay. It ain't funny making fun of money. It's already a mess. The Deezes and Diners and Masters Express. So, I mean, Grow or Pay. The lyrics are phenomenal with this band. And then, of course, just to throw in like, oh yeah, the one record, No Fuel Left for the Pilgrims, I had actually got on another dig with Weinbender in South Carolina at, man, I can't, that record store's on the tip of my tongue. Horizon Records in Greenville, South Carolina. And I got that with Weinbender. So, I don't know. I kind of attribute, although Dave was there too. So if Dave and Weinbender are there, then there's going to be something that the Zonk Man finds, some Disneyland After Dark. They just put an album out, like 6 years ago. But so they're still together making music. They have albums all through the 90s and 2000s. All on CD though. But when I found all three of these records at one vendor, I couldn't help myself. I kind of lost my mind. I know the guy too, and he was probably thinking, "Oh man, I got him hook, line, and sinker, man. It's over. This guy's making this big a deal about these records." And yeah, I didn't have a poker face on, that was for sure. But he did give a discount. So I won't talk about the discount or whatever, talk about the price of the records. It was definitely fair, definitely came off of what he was asking on each one right off the top. But killer to find these records, see these records, ever. I never thought I would see this in the wild. DAD, Risking It All, 1991. Killer stuff, man. This is the type of stuff. And so in 92 and 93, I was playing the hell out of this CD. Boom. And that's what I got at the Gastonia record show. I just want to tell you guys about that trip. It was a great VC meetup with Justin, Dave, and Weinbender. So even after Justin and Dave left, Dave and I ate lunch together with the food truck or whatever. Then we went ahead, since Weinbender was at a booth, we got his food for him. And after Dave and Justin left, I spent the rest of the time of the show there at Weinbender at the booth. So we just kind of hang out, shooting the shit. It was a great hang. Awesome stuff. So, yeah, man, that's a video. Gastonia Record Show from a freaking month and a half ago. Dude, there's other stuff that I need to talk about and show and all kinds of stuff. Because there was just a record show in Clemens November 2nd. So I got a couple digs for that, but I didn't go crazy. Didn't want to go crazy. What else can I hype up for the future coming up? Man, there's no telling with me. But I plan on this time off making some videos for you guys and showing some stuff, that's for sure. All right. Thanks for watching. Peace. See ya.